it's your girl Nisi here with Wild Pear Tarot. Thanks so much for tuning into my YouTube channel. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I am a tarot and oracle reader, also a light worker and an alchemist. I mainly do celebrity readings, but I also do channeled messages for the collective, as well as pick-a-pile readings. So thanks so much for tuning in. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. All right, so we're going to be doing a reading on Zayn Malik. Spirit has finally given me the go-ahead to do so. So we're going to get started with his reading. Zayn is a singer, songwriter, musician, artiste. Most people probably know him from his origins with One Direction, the very famous, well-known boy band. Before boy bands, I guess, kind of dried out. I don't know if there's any I don't know if that phenomenon is still relevant today, but because you just don't see too many, boy bands out there. But, Zayn kind of started in that lane. I think he originally wanted to be a solo singer, but then got kind of, he kind of moved in that lane of being part of a group. And then, he made the decision to be a solo artist, and it has done wonders for him. He's, I would say he's a hit-making artist, a record-selling artist. He has some really great songs. I think most people also know him for his relationship with Gigi Hadid, who is a model, some would say supermodel, cover of Vogue, all that stuff, right? So let's get into it, y'all. We're going to go over, certain aspects of his life right now. He's a new father. He has some music, I think that's brewing. I think he put out a couple of songs this year, but we're going to see what's going on. So let's get to the cards, y'all. We're using the Prisma Tarot Visions set. All right. We're also using the Modern Witch Tarot deck, the Modern Witch Tarot deck. This is a really cool deck. We also have the Spirit Animal Oracle deck. Such a beautiful deck, y'all. And lastly, the Divine Feather deck. And this is actually the deck that I'm going to be using a little bit on when it comes to the romance category. All right, so also, before we get into the cards, I wanted to point out some crystals here that Spirit told me to choose for this reading. So we have this very beautiful hematite crystal, definitely for the root. This is for grounding. And then we have the clear quartz crystal, this very beautiful crystal that I picked up on. And so this is going to be part of our reading. And of course, I got my selenite. And you can never have too much selenite, y'all. Get your wands, get your sticks, all right? Okay, so we're actually going to get into the love and romance of Zayn and Gigi and what's going on with them, all right? So let's shuffle these cards. I'm using the Modern Witch Tarot deck. This deck is oh my gosh. It's one of my favorite decks, but it's also very cumbersome because, the card stock is so thick, right? So 78 cards feels like double that. But we're going to work it out, y'all. Okay. I feel like I'm in a much more chipper, cheery mood than usual. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to record today. I'm going to do this reading on Zayn and see what's happening. Thank you, Spirit. All right, what's going on in Zayn's love life? What's going on in Zayn's love life? How is he feeling? Where is he at emotionally in his love life? Romantically, where is he at? Okay, thank you, Spirit. Thank you. All right. Ooh, okay. All right. Okay, and I'm actually going to shuffle real quick from this Divine Feather messenger deck, because there's some messages here that we need to also discuss when it comes to the love life. Okay. All right. All right, so let's see what's going on. Let's see what's up. All right, let's go over the cards here. So we got the Six of Swords, the Judgment card, Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, Wheel of Fortune reversed, and the Knight of Wands. I immediately heard when I turned the cards over that there may be a breakup coming between these two, between Zayn and Gigi. The two top cards here represent Gigi and kind of where she's at, and then the bottom two cards represent Zayn and where he's at emotionally. And I may pull another card here. Okay. Just to pick up on what's the overall energy of their connection. All right. So, she's going through, you know, of course she's a new mother. She's a new mommy. And so she is really looking back at the lessons that she has learned with Zayn. Gigi's looking at the lessons that she's learned with Zayn. She's trying to figure out how she can incorporate them all. Excuse me, but energetically, she wants to leave. There's something pulling her in a new direction where she wants to leave, or it's something about almost like outgrowing the relationship. She's outgrowing the relationship. She's outgrowing it. Motherhood has changed her, but she's in also somewhat of a protective, guarded space. And it's interesting here how you see, you know, now this particular deck that I'm using is all women. Looking at the Six of Swords, it's like there's an energy here of protectiveness, but also of a bit of caution, but also like, you know, sadness, as she's deciding to kind of move forward. That energy is very much present, and she's trying to find a way. It's very interesting. It's really like her, all the lessons that she's learned. Spirit just keeps repeating that, all the lessons that she's been learning through this relationship, through its ups and downs, because they've had several breakups over the course of their whole relationship, and more than once, right? The families are very connected, right? The families are very connected, and it, in some ways, it might even be where like they've been given a blessing. The family has like is almost like blessing their departure, or them kind of moving forward. I'm very much focused on her and her energy because it's very heavy and very present in this reading here, this particular part of Zayn's reading, because he is the focus. But when it comes to the relationship, the energy here is heavy on, lessons learned. And I'm actually, that song came up by Alicia Keys. I think John Mayer is featured on that song, but it's called Lesson Learned. It's called Lesson Learned. And that's very prevalent here. Either it's something that she's incorporating, things that she's incorporated over the years. Six of Swords can sometimes also signify like a rites of passage, like, moving forward to, a different stage. Almost like, it's like there's a bittersweetness there. There's something about the Six of Swords that offer a form of bittersweetness. And I think that's how she feels. It's almost like it's a graduating thing. And with the Six of Swords and the Judgment, it's almost like confirmation, because Judgment often comes out when it's like something that you have to, either like the cycle has ended, or now it's time to kind of incorporate all of the things that you've learned and utilize that for like the next phase in your life, or the next step in your life. And this is interesting in the context of romance, in the context of love. And if it's not a breakup, it is something where she is shifting into a new phase in her life, a new romantic stage in her life. Like she is moving forward. But with the Six of Swords here, to me, that energy is like being heavily surrounded by water. So there's the emotion there's heavy emotion. It's being very much in your thoughts, and then moving to a space of praise, moving to a space of like exaltation, right? Because you see all the people here in this picture, kind of, looking up to the sky. So there's this energy here is definitely showing some kind of movement with Gigi. There's some kind of emotional, mental movement. I'm hearing upgrade. I'm hearing some kind of upgrade. And again, it's about like her incorporating lessons that she's learned in her relationship with Zayn. And it's going to be making her a stronger woman, a stronger mother, a bit more of a backbone. I'm hearing a bit more of a backbone that she didn't have, maybe, privy to this, because she was very much, just kind of allowing things to just kind of unfold. So that's really interesting as far as the dynamic here. Now with him, this Wheel of Fortune in the reverse and the Knight of Wands. Ooh, okay. So Spirit, I immediately heard the word directionless. Directionless. And the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse usually represents some kind of like bad luck or misfortune. And so it doesn't, and again, this is somewhat in alignment with the Six of Swords. It's like, for her, she's moving on. For her, and it's bittersweet, and there's a sadness to it, but there's also, for him, it's like things are going in a direction that I don't like, and that also it's leaving me in a space where I'm not sure where I'm going. The Knight of Wands here, right? So this definitely has some sort of energy of it is someone kind of moving. It's like, it's interesting. They are moving in opposite directions. You see how the Six of Swords, and I'm going to pull these two cards up here because you have these two major arcana cards. So you have the Six of Swords, which represents Gigi and where she's at, and then you have the Knight of Wands, and you see how this is together. Now you may see this as like, oh, they're kind of moving towards each other. And that could be one aspect of it, but it definitely showcases that he's a little bit more focused on like he's trying to get back to his passion, and we're going to get into the music element as well, but I think that's what Spirit is telling me. It's like he's trying to, something about struggling with, it could be struggling with the passion of their relationship. You know, there was a lot of passion in their relationship, and it's not the same as it was now that she's a mother. And it was interesting when I was looking at interviews and stuff like that, and trying to pick up energetically through the music and stuff, I kept seeing Gigi's face, and she was like crying, like she was bawling. It was just a lot of tears. Like heavy on the tears, and I'm just like, her face was all red and puffy, and I was like, what's going on here? There is an impulsivity with the Knight of Wands, right? There's an attitude, there's a fleeting attitude, right, of someone who's not really going to stay because they're focused on other pursuits. But he's going in, Spirit said directionless. So it's like, even where he's going, he doesn't fully know. And how does that tie into their connection? It's because he's kind of winging it. Spirit's telling me he's winging it right now. He's winging it. And that is not how you do it in this household. Like, that is not how you do it in this household. Like, here's what I'm gonna say. I'm really, whew. If they get married, if they get married, if they get married, or if they're already married, he was not ready. Or he's not ready. I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna put that out there, from what Spirit is telling me. If they got married, or if they're preparing to marry, or planning to get married in the next year or even 2 years, he's not gonna be ready. He's not gonna be ready. There's something that he keeps returning to. There's also something that he keeps looking back. He keeps looking back at a time. Ooh, and this could be a child wound. It's something that he keeps looking back at that wasn't a good time for him. It wasn't. I'm hearing it was debilitating to him. It was dark, a dark time for him. It was a spiritually heavy time for him. There was a period that he keeps returning to that in a reckless way. I don't know. I don't think Zayn drinks, right? Like, I don't think he has any vices like that and stuff. I mean, you know, but we don't know. You know, certain celebrities, we can pick up on certain things, but you know, we know that just like with everyone, you know, people have vices. People have things that they can become addicted to and struggle with. Excuse me. But the energy I'm picking up from this is there's something there was a period of time in his life that he went through a really heavy or dark time that sometimes he returns to, and it's in a reckless way. You know, but with this Wheel of Fortune though, it could also just be, you know, a rough patch that he's going through. A rough patch. It could also be signifying a rough patch. But for her, this shows, this is heavy. This is a heavy, strong, this is quite strong, and a quite, Spirit's telling me, quite like resilient energy that I'm picking up on with Gigi. And with him, it's like, you know, he keeps returning to a particular energy or time in his life that wasn't joy, that didn't bring joy, that didn't bring happiness, and he keeps returning to it in a reckless way. Any kind of knight card, especially with wands, there's a bit of like, you know, something that there's a passion here, and that's why I say it could possibly signify a vice, because something that someone may love, you know, they may love either to do or to have, and he's rushing towards that, you know, he's returning towards that, but in a reckless way, in a way that it's not, in Spirit saying, it's like it's not rooted in any permanence. It's not rooted in any permanence. And it causes a spiral, you know, this Wheel of Fortune here causes a spiral, and it also causes him to not really fully understand or know what he's doing and where he's going in life. And he keeps returning to that. And her, I think she's picked up on it, and she's like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. I'm trying to understand the lesson. Like, she's very much like, I'm trying to do what I need to do to become a better woman, to you know, grow. He is not in a space emotionally, nor I would also say mentally, where he's trying to grow. You know, Judgment here, and especially being upright, is integration for me. That represents some kind of integration. Him, I don't see it right now. So they're very much going in different directions here, is what I'm seeing. They're going in different directions. So if there's a breakup, it may be soon, unfortunately. But if there's a marriage, he wasn't ready, or he's not ready. So that's what Spirit's saying about that. Let's look at the Messenger card here. The Oriole, a new creative venture is on the horizon. See it as a positive change. So this is the card for Gigi, the Oriole card. Okay? The Oriole card. And again, you know, this is signifying it's signifying a change, y'all. It's signifying some kind of something new coming in for her, and but in a good way, in a way for her to be more artistic and to be more creative. I believe she's an artist, like you know, maybe she paints or draws and stuff, like, so that may be something here. Energetically, I think she is she's trying to figure out kind of what's next creatively for her. And maybe I would see some probably new creative ventures. I'm also hearing something about art galleries. This is for Gigi. I'm hearing something about art galleries, or some connection to an art gallery that she may you know, maybe present her work, or do some sort of collaboration. So this isn't necessarily in connection to the romantic sense, but just creatively, she is looking ahead. And what's the overall, I asked Spirit to tell me kind of what's the overall energy of their connection. Yeah, y'all. Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. So there's something blocking their material, physical connection. there's something blocking the growth of their relationship. You know, Ace of Pentacles is the start, right? That's the start of, it's usually kind of like taking an idea, materializing it, you know, having it come to fruition, knowing that it's a money maker, knowing that it can bring some sort of fruit to bear, right? Some sort of fruit will bear from, you know, the idea. Something will grow from this, and I will have some sort of sustenance from this, or I can start to have some sort of sustenance or fulfillment, the start of it. And it's blocked here. It's in the reverse. So it's showing that it's not coming, the fruit isn't coming to bear, right? So again, I mean, as I stated before, I do see some kind of breakup here. Yeah, it's just like, me looking at this card, I'm looking heavily at the clouds here. So the clouds in the Ace of Pentacles card, the clouds in the Wheel of Fortune card here, right? And then the clouds in the Judgment card. All right? The clouds in the Judgment card. It's just a lot of things aren't really fully clear when it comes to their situation. She seems to be more clear about their situation than he does. And again, there's something here that he is not, it's directionless, right? So it's like, he just kind of wants to like, let's just like go, you know how some people just like, let the clouds just roll by and let the breeze just flow. And it's like, there's really no kind of direction, and that's not what she wants. That's not what she wants. He's very passionate though. This Knight of Wands he's very passionate. He is passionate in their relationship, but there's been some struggle here in terms of physical connection. You know, I'm also hearing like Spirit's also telling me, interestingly, like, you know, they may post like old pictures of them. They may post old pictures of them, like to kind of how things used to be. Spirit's also telling me of how things used to be. Like, so if any of them kind of post something, it may not be a recent photo, like a very, very current photo, maybe something kind of a little bit in the past. Spirit's telling me. All right. So Spirit actually wants me to move into music. All right. We're going to get into music and artistry. And I'm going to use this deck again. I'm sorry. I got to split this deck up. This is ridiculous. I don't want to be fumbling and stumbling. All right. So Zayn is working on some new music. Zayn is working on new music. Spirit, what can you tell me about where he's at musically, and what he's doing right now with music? I think he's writing some music right now. He put out a single in the fall. Spirit. Yeah. His songs are fire, y'all. He's I feel like he's getting more into, he's R&B, right? He's R&B or like pop, people say alternative R&B, but his voice is maturing. I'm going to say that. His voice is maturing. Him as an artist is maturing. So I'm also hearing like, expect to see more, just way more mature, deeper songs, deeper lyrics. Like, I'm also hearing like less, I heard less innuendo, more straight talk. Less innuendo and more straight talk. That's where he's at. So musically, he's definitely, when it comes to his lyricism, he's really, trying to push his pen. I'm hearing he's trying to push his pen into a much more deeper sphere. And I think that, ooh, whoa, okay, Spirit's telling me, like, that's why he's kind of returning. Ooh, whoa, okay. Oh, man. Okay, let's see what the cards say, and then all right. Let me shuffle one more time here. Thank you, Spirit. Wow. Okay. Man, I love how Spirit, like, connects things. Spirit connects things, yo, for real. Spirit connects, and he confirms. He, she, they confirm. All right? So that's kind of why it's like, ooh, musically, he's trying to push himself. So it's almost, ooh, okay. Thank you, Spirit. So he's actually tapping into that darker place for a reason. As I had mentioned, you know, as we had talked about his romantic life and what's kind of going on there with his relationship, like he kind of where I had mentioned that he's like returning to, you know, places and situations and experiences in his life. He's recalling those things, and he's actually doing it for a reason. He's trying to dig up certain things in order for him to write about it, but it is affecting his romantic relationship. Damn. That's wow. That is it's in some ways it's sabotaging it. Whew. Oh, damn. Okay, what's going... Oh, whoa. Okay, this Six of Swords coming up again. This Six of Swords is prominent, y'all. Okay, so let's go over it. We got the Six of Swords coming out. This is for musically. The Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups. Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles. Way more love songs. Ooh. Okay, I'm hearing TONI Braxton. It's just another sad love song wrecking my brain like crazy. Guess I'm all torn up. That song. Okay. He's gonna be musically more love songs, y'all. Way more love songs than usual. He's tapping into that heavily. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a full R&B album, that whatever album comes out next, like a full R&B album, like him trying to get R&B artists on his, like, very well-known R&B artists on his side. I think he's worked with, like, he's done music with Chris Brown before. And I think Trey Songz, if he was, like, featured on one of his songs or something. But, yeah, he's going to be definitely working on this in a... he's definitely going to be working on this more when it comes to this this music situation. There's something that he's trying to protect musically. There's something that he's shifting out of. You know, he's okay. He is, so Spirit is telling me he is moving into more love songs. Like, he's moving musically into generating more love songs. But this Five of Pentacles here in reverse is interesting. It's like, I think he may even be, I think he's going to be more open about some of his setbacks and his struggles. Like, some of the things that he has struggled with in the industry, I think he's going to be more open about it musically. I'm not sure if he's good. I'm not picking up that him doing more interviews and stuff like that. I really see him talking about it in his music, him discussing some of the things that he used to go through. And I think that's going to offer some sort of aspect of him just kind of making it through. Something about, I think there's going to be songs out there that's going to help people make it through. Like people who feel, who have been feeling lost, or people who have been feeling alone, or people who have been feeling like they don't have help, they don't have support. He's going to be making music that tries to help uplift in that regard, because he's going to be talking about his own struggles and how he overcame them. I don't think he grew. I'm not sure. I don't think he came from a wealthy family. I don't think he grew up with wealth in his family. It was just something that has kind of, I guess, amassed over time, or like he's been kind of the breadwinner. I'm not sure about that, but he's going to be talking about that in his music. It's going to be more prevalent in his music over the next, I'm hearing 3 to 4 years, maybe 2 to 3 years, that he's going to be making music. Just things that are more uplifting and trying to give people, you know, like more insight and more depth into some of the things that he's overcome. But again, more love songs here. This Six of Swords is like, he's having it, you know what I'm seeing in the energy from this card is like, he's tapping into, he's getting assistance, whether it be he's getting assistance, and it may be from like mentors or people who have like, he's tapping into like experiences or people, specific people, or even channeling maybe specific artists that he looks up to, and he's like kind of taking that it's not kind of, it's almost like taking their form and like molding it into his own, because I'm actually seeing in each card there is either someone or something carrying them or helping them through. There is some kind of support system present in his life that is helping him through. You know, like here, you know, someone is the conduit here. There's someone helping this person move forward. There's the horse carrying this woman, you know, down the road. There's you know, two women who are walking together. There's, musically, he has things to draw from. He always has something, some experience, something that someone has said, some artist that he really, really loves and connects with. Like he always has some kind of object or person to kind of draw from in order for him to create. That's something that's always there for him. He doesn't care about accolades like that, Spirit's telling me. Like he's appreciative of it, but I don't think he really cares about accolades. Oh, I'm also hearing something about a silent majority. Something about silent majority. And I don't know, Spirit, what is that about? What is that about, Spirit? What is that about? Okay, all right. So Spirit wants me to pull from the Animal Oracle deck. So that's what we about to do. That's what we about to do, y'all. Okay. I'd really be trying to make these readings short, but man, for real, when Spirit has stuff to say, I just let it rock. So, you know, I'm not gonna apologize if it's 40-50 minutes, because this is what Spirit has to say. I'm just gonna let it rock. All right, so we got the Spirit Animal Oracle deck. So we're just gonna draw one card. All right, we're just going to draw one card here and see what is going on when it comes to Zayn and where he's at musically. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. majority. What are you trying to say? Oh, this came out in reverse? Okay. You know what? I'm going to let it ride. I'm going to let it ride because sometimes, you know, most of the time I try not to have my oracle decks in reverse. But if it come out in reverse, it means something. Flamingo spirit. Embrace the in-between. Flamingo spirit. Embrace the in-between. Okay. This is about equilibrium for him. This is about balance for him. And it came out in the reverse. So this is about equilibrium from him and balance and being able to trust in the present. Understanding, giving himself space and time and the grace, giving himself grace of like figuring it out. And that's so interesting, like, oh man, how Spirit brings it all together. Because in the very beginning of the reading, we were, Spirit had brought up that like there's an energy of directionless from him in his romantic life. He's tapping into some like, you know, a darker period of time or a time where he kind of struggled. And it is because he's focused on the past, because he's focused on like a past cycle or past experiences in his life, that it's affecting his present. It's affecting the here and now. And he's using it to reach a deeper place in his music, to bring it out. But there also, Spirit is saying there's a time to kind of let go of the past and to kind of shift into the new. But even as you're kind of going through that, even as you're shifting, to kind of maintain balance or try to reach a state of equilibrium by just being in the present moment, right? So, you know, we think about meditation, you know, people's like, oh, meditating is so hard. I was looking on Twitter and there was someone who had posted like, this is me, you know, meditating. And it was like all these different thoughts that she was having, and she had like only a couple seconds of just sitting still. And I was reading like some of the comments, and, you know, someone had said, it's not supposed to be about how long you can go, you know, with having an, you know, empty mind. It is acknowledging the chaos in your mind, but not letting it overcome you or consume you, and instead returning to what the present moment, the here and now, which is the breath, right? The breath as we're breathing in, breathing out, right? We're in our bodies, we're in our, you know, space, and recognizing that and connecting with that. And he struggles with that. That's why it came out in reverse. Because he is trying to go backwards, or he's stepping backwards because he thinks that that's what he needs to do that's what he needs to tap into in order for him to be more creative, and to, I'm hearing like that je ne sais quoi, or just something that like differentiates him from other people. He feels like, oh, if I can go back and tap back into that place, but it's like, sir, you're not taking the time to just like sit and be and just like allow things to just be, right? That does not equate to being directionless. It's just giving yourself some time to just be in the moment. Otherwise, you're going to let things just kind of pass you by. You're going to let, you know, relationships pass you by. The moments, you know, that you have with your child, or with, you know, the love of your life, or your romantic partner, or your music, or, you know, all these things that are important to him. It's just going to pass it by because he's been, you know, so focused on what was and not what is. there may be some element of nostalgia there. There may be some element of nostalgia, but again, it's like he's kind of looking. He keeps looking backwards, and that's the problem. He's been looking backwards a lot, and it's affecting his present. It's affecting his present, and it's something that he just. It does seem like he is in the in between right now, and maybe that's why he's feeling directionless. But he just needs to. He needs to level out, even out, and just sit and be for, you know, take a tick or two and just chill the fuck out. And I believe I've said this with other celebrities, because sometimes, and I think it's like, because, you know, as artists, I think it's like, you know, they question their relevancy and, you know, where they are in terms of their merits in music and pop culture and all these other things. And it's like, man, at the end of the day, sometimes that shit don't even matter. Like, what do you have right now, the here and now? I'm hearing that song, that the beginning of Pound Cake by Drake, featuring Jay-Z, and there's like a recording, and the guy is like, here today, gone tomorrow, and like the tomorrow, when he says tomorrow, it just it gets warped. His voice gets warped, and it just kind of buzzes out or phases out, and that's really the energy of this. It's like where he's at musically, creatively, artistically. It's like, and even just in his life in general, he just needs to sit and be present. He needs to be more present in his life. He's letting things kind of pass him by. He's letting things kind of like, I gotta focus on this to bring out a certain outcome. And it's like, nah, man, like, you letting things pass you by so much so that, like, your relationship could possibly end, or you may move in haste without taking the time to just sit and be and just allow things to just kind of come to you sometimes, right? Like allowing the answers to come. You know, it's like he feels like he has to pull from something energetically that is like, it's not something he needs to do anymore. So that's where he's at with that. I really hope he gets to a place of, you know, of equilibrium. Spirit's telling me it's just like he needs to get to a place of equilibrium and balance, because that's where he's struggling right now. Thank you, Spirit. Whew. Whoa. Wasn't expecting that one. Damn. Okay. I'm telling you, y'all, like, we're going to wrap this up, okay? We are going to wrap this up with fatherhood. Where is he at? He is a new father. He just had a baby girl in September, right? Isn't that right? In September. So we're going to wrap up this reading by talking about how is he feeling about fatherhood. That's a huge responsibility. He's in his, late 20s. I think Gigi is in her early 20s. You know, so these are significant time for him. This year has been quite significant. So let's see how he's feeling about fatherhood. All right. Whew. Spirit, can you provide some insight on where he's at emotionally, spiritually, mentally, when it comes to being a father, being a new father, and taking care of his child and the responsibility that carries? Thank you, Spirit. How is he feeling? How is he faring? How is he feeling and faring when it comes to fatherhood and being a new dad? Thank you, Spirit. Spirit always bringing me music. I love it. So I was hearing two songs, and It's probably because I just recorded. So I did a reading on Meg Thee Stallion a couple of days ago. So check it out, y'all. If you get a chance, check out my reading on Meg, Hot Girl Meg. The song that was in her reading came up in this one, and that's the "Do You Know Where You're Going To" by Diana Ross. And then I'm also hearing people all over the world join hands, start a love train, a love train. It's time to get on board. I'm not really singing, y'all. Oh man, that song is coming up. Okay, I don't know why that song is coming up, but that song's coming up. I'm picturing him like, oh man, he's like dancing with his baby, listening to old records. He's dancing with his baby, listening to old records. Like, he's so happy. Let's see what's going on though, Spirit. When it comes to fatherhood and how he's feeling and faring. 5 of Swords, 6 of Cups. All right, so with the 6 of Cups, I immediately got reminiscing. So he is definitely thinking about, the past, which of course ties into, majority of the energy of this reading, right? Him kind of looking back. But in this regard, it's actually in a much more positive way. As I mentioned, like, I was picturing him kind of dancing with his daughter, and it's almost like a reflection of things that he had done when he was a child. So I had read somewhere online that he grew up kind of listening to a lot of music that his dad loved. So a lot of like R&B and hip hop and reggae music and things like that. And it's so interesting because it feels like that same type of energy, that kind of sparked his creativity and his artistry and his love of music. He wants to instill that in his child, or kind of have that same energy that he brings from his childhood into, kind of rearing his daughter, and having her grow up kind of being surrounded by like really great music. So this energy here is him kind of like reminiscing and thinking about, kind of his experiences as a child, and him wanting to replicate that for his daughter, which is really, really beautiful. The 6 of Cups, with this particular design and artwork for this card, kind of signifies a time of rest and rejuvenation. You see the woman, and she's like in this lake or this pond, and she's just, flowers are surrounding her, and you see the sky up above, and it's cloudy, and the tree nearby, and she's just laying there. And it just makes me feel like, I get the feeling from this card of warmth, someone who's taking a very like warm bath, and just kind of enjoying their time. Spirit is saying that his daughter is definitely going to show him how to live in the present moment. His daughter is going to be a key factor in helping him to kind of just be, and just to, experience the present, and helping him to stay in the present moment and just live and enjoy, the little things. Like, of course, with a baby, you think about, their first steps and their first words, and the foods that they like, the foods that they don't like, learning what type of cries that they have, like all those different aspects of raising a child, and having this little baby girl. And Spirit is kind of showing like the energy of this is like, it's definitely going to, him as a father, he's going to learn how to, give more to others and give more to himself in the process. You know, as he gives to himself, he's going to give to others in the same way. And that exchange is going to be really, really powerful and helpful to his emotional well-being. Again, you know, when I see the Six of Cups, it just has this really beautiful energy, and it's almost like when someone is kind of enjoying a warm bath, like the warmth and the feeling of the water kind of, you know, covering you and washing over you, and you're just being able to kind of sit and soothing, you know, it's like a soothing energy. And I kind of see that, like, it's gonna definitely make him softer. It's bringing out more of his kind of feminine energy of patience is what I'm also getting with this Six of Cups here. And just the energy of like peace and calm and enjoyment, which is something that he really needs. Stillness is what I'm getting just from this artwork, and that's what's kind of like generating the energy from this Six of Cups card. So yeah, that's what I'm getting as far as, you know, what fatherhood is going to bring to him in that sense. It's definitely going to help him to grow emotionally. He is still kind of, again, that reminiscence energy is still prevalent. He's still, you know, tying himself to the past, but in this particular in this way, it's actually much more positive than what he's, you know, been tapping into to kind of be more creative, because he's pulling from a much more a much place of like, you know, that was much more hard, and in this element, it's more about what has brought him enjoyment, what has brought him peace, what has brought him warmth in his life, and he wants to instill that in his daughter. He wants to instill that in his child. The Five of Swords here coming out. The Five of Swords. This is... This is where the element here of like, ooh, I'm hearing the word incongruent. I'm hearing the word incongruent. There's an incongruence here. There's something here that... Ooh, okay. So I'm seeing here, you know, sometimes when you look at cards, you can see patterns, and then you can also see like the story, right? The story of what's happening energetically and spiritually. And you see how in the Five of Swords you have, you know, three people kind of fighting, or actually two people kind of fighting, and then one person who has put down their sword and is preparing to follow the butterfly. Well, where is the butterfly leading? Peace, warmth, being soothed, reminiscing in a positive way, right? So there is some family drama I'm picking up in terms of how to, and I keep hearing the word rearing, but how he's growing up his child, and you know, he's a new father. He's a very new father. His baby girl, I think, is only a couple of months. So this is, you know, he's still very much green. He's very green to fatherhood. He's still learning about himself. This is definitely changing him for the better. But there seems to be an element here of family drama that's causing some conflict about how he's now how he's trying to position himself. He is very Spirit is telling me there's an overprotectiveness that's coming through, and he's gonna fight. He's gonna not physically fight, but there's gonna be some kind of verbal sparring going on. There's gonna be some kind of verbal altercation going on between, him and family members on his side and Gigi's side, right? Him as a father, it's like, okay, this is how I want to do this, and you're not going to tell me, like, his attitude all up in here. It's like, you're not going to tell me how to do this and all this stuff. But I think what he's learning is that, you can still get your point across and still have peace, or he has to pick and choose his battles. And learn when to walk away. Because what is he learning? He's going to be learning how to take care of himself before he, can take care of other people. Care for himself before he can care for other people. And especially his child. So there's some energy here of conflict. I think there's a warring of words, and also a warring of the mind here, because and this kind of goes back to this kind of like directionless feeling. It's like sometimes the past can really bring up some things that and that's if you're actively trying to, like, maybe do shadow work or working on yourself, then yes, definitely do that shadow work, but also have a therapist, right? Like, have a counselor, talk to somebody as you are navigating that, right? Because you're dredging up things that have occurred, and sometimes it can cause a lot of like it can cause that conflict, because you're like, man, you are stuck in that type of past energy, when it's like, no, you need to be where you got out of that, you moved away from that, you're here now, be in the present. And I think he may also be trying to come out of that. There's a conflict happening here where he may be trying to mentally move away from that and get into a space of, I'm just going to take care of my child and enjoy the small things, enjoy the moments, that I have with her, that I have with my family, that I have with, his girlfriend, that he has with Gigi, like all these different things. That's really important. So yeah, it's just going to take him some time. It's going to take him some time to figure this stuff out, y'all. It's gonna take him some time as a father. He's super green. Super green. If y'all know that, I'm quoting from a specific movie, so if y'all know, okay? Yeah, he's definitely super green right now, and he's having to, he's navigating being a parent now. And what does that look like? How is that shaped? How he's even probably trying to figure out, how does he want his child to grow up? How does he want his child to, yes, make sure that, the child has everything that they need, but making sure that they're not like stuck up, and, that they care about people. Like, it's all those things that he's kind of thinking of. So there's kind of like a warring of the mind a bit, and a warring of words, because I think there's also some family conflict, and there's some family drama around how they're raising the child, how they're going to raise the child. And sometimes the message I'm getting from this, the advice from this for him, is he can put down the sword and just focus on being present with his daughter. He will figure. It's like, yes, he needs to be prepared, of course. He needs to prepare. He needs to take the precaution and do what he needs to do to make sure his daughter is healthy and safe and loved and taken care of. But also getting to a place where it's like, well, what does all of that mean? Well, that part of that is being present, being aware, being in a state of awareness, right? Of himself, and then of his responsibilities. So he's gonna navigate this. It's very new to him. He's gonna get through it though. I'm seeing the energy is that he is going to move into a much more peaceful state of mind and a much more peaceful emotional state, where he's just gonna enjoy his child, enjoy his baby, and have fun, and you know, be dancing with her, and like, you know, playing the music, and like, you know, just having fun with his girl, having fun with his daughter, and having fun with his family. Like, I think that's where he's moving towards. That energy is present. He just has to mentally get to that state. All right, y'all. That was my reading on Zayn. Really cool reading on him. I wish him all the best in fatherhood and in music and in love. You know, it's really great to see, you know, the growth of these celebrities as they kind of, you know, of course, they're going through different things and maneuvering life, just experiencing life and going through it just as we are. I just wanted to also wish y'all just, you know, kind of a happy holidays, all right? I hope that, you know, this has been a very rough year for most of us, a very trying year, but I wish y'all so much peace and love and joy for the holidays, and even as we step into 2021. More videos, y'all. Please comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you know, your thoughts on the reading that I did on Zayn. Also, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. All right? It's your girl Nisi here with Wild Pear Tarot, and I'm gonna catch y'all later. Bye.